welcome to this week's Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jamie Henderson. And today, now, if I seem a little nervous, it's because I have the director of C19, Mr. Tim Foster, with me. Thank you for coming, Tim.
Jamie, first of all, thank you for what you do for Talk of the Town.
Absolutely.
Being the host, you've been the host now for, gosh, going on 9 months. You do a phenomenal job. Thank you for what you do for Cleveland Community College and C19 TV and being the host of Talk of the Town. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, thank you for coming. What a wonderful opportunity to get to be in this new studio. I think we're coming up on a year now. Is that right?
Yeah, you know, we're going to talk about a lot of different things on this week's episode of Talk of the Town. And one of them is we're getting very close to our 1-year anniversary in our new studio location. We had a ribbon cutting back in early September of 2025, and we've had so many great productions, so many folks here. We produce daily, a lot of events, a lot of visibility. We do tours, and it's really been fun because the visibility is really great here, and we love just to have students and community individuals and folks come in along with all of our guests to be a part of shows, and of course we just keep rolling right along with C19 on a daily basis.
One of my favorite parts about being in this new location is the visibility.
Yeah.
You know, anybody that's walking by, it's right there. They're seeing that, and I think a lot of times before people didn't really even know we were in the old location unless you were specifically coming there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I had been in the old location, not as a host, but I'd sat on your couch and been on the show for a couple of times. Now, how long has Talk of the Town been on?
Wow, you know, it's our longest running show right now on C19 TV. This year in 2026 is our 25th anniversary. So Talk of the Town, it's crazy. Yeah, it started obviously, I believe, and I would have to check in with our former director of C19, Greg Tillman, who did such a phenomenal job, and I worked for Greg for close to 13 years before I was blessed enough to have the director position. But yeah, 25 years of Talk of the Town. And I think about some of the hosts. It started with Star Camper.
I remember Star.
A lot of people remember Star, a longtime employee of Cleveland Community College, and what an instructor she was.
Yes, she was. She was excellent.
Yeah,
she was an instructor when I came through here.
She's going back. I'm not trying to age her, but she started back in the 1990s as an instructor here at Cleveland Community College, and of course the college and the look of it has changed quite a bit. Obviously, as we know since then, just right out here, they're working on our student center as we record this. On this day, and then she was host for many years, and then Steve Putnam was the host for many years, and then we've had a lot of guest hosts through the years that are working here. People like Emily Sisk and Tyra Silvers, and I'm sure I'm leaving out a lot of people that we've had. Scott Neisler, but I think about that we have had somewhere between 2,000 to 3,000 shows. Jamie, isn't that pretty remarkable to cover?
Remarkable.
And we've had, city leaders, we've had folks, that are part of big events, all the big events of the last 25 years. At some point, they've probably been interviewed on Talk of the Town.
You're right. I love getting the opportunity to interview all different kind of people from the community. It just keeps me involved and keeps me up to date as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And obviously, it's been interesting to see the different sets because we're talking about in those 25 years, we went from a very small studio that we had not far from here near the library down to the Bailey Center around 2008. And then, of course, we moved here in 2025. So you're talking about a lot of different studios, a lot of different years of shows. But we have had, again, we've covered a lot of the big topics that go on from from parades to the Cleveland County Fair to summer events to huge winter events to spring events at the city park to everything from Bowling Springs to Kings Mountain to Kingstown to Lawndale to Falston to Shelby. That's the great thing about this show is we cover it all.
One of my favorite things is when we show the old fair episodes.
Yeah, going back to the 1980s. Yeah, 40 years ago.
I love watching that. I love watching that.
Yeah, we've got that kind of content, and it's pretty remarkable that, you mentioned the fair, but I think about the Uptown Shelby Christmas Parade. We have done every parade. We've produced every parade since 1983.
That's amazing.
So that's going on 43 consecutive parades that we have done. And of course, we will keep that going later this year for the 44th. But it's pretty remarkable, and that's what the channel is about. It's about giving back to the community, and I'm just so thankful for the support we have from people such as John O'Harris and his family,
Right.
of course Dot Roark, and
Yes.
Dot. Dot was here. And I just want to speak on Dot briefly. Dot was here for the ribbon cutting, and Dot passed away on Christmas Day
Oh,
of 2025,
Bless
and I was honored to be at her funeral back in January of this year. But she was such a big part of not only starting C19, but her and her family are a big part of continuing to help us with expenses, equipment. It takes a lot to keep this
It does.
going. I mean, I'm looking at our 4 high definition studio cameras, and I'm just thankful, Jamie, for the support that we have from Dr. Hurst and the faculty and staff here at the college.
you talked about giving back and how long you had worked for Greg. So, Tim, tell us, how long have you been around?
Well, I've been doing this. I got my degree in '97, almost 30 years ago.
That's the year I graduated high school.
I mean, we're not old, of course, right, Jamie? But I've been here at the college almost 17 years.
Wow, that's
And
impressive.
a lot of different roles. Yeah, I've been fortunate, and it's been in broadcasting in some phase, working under Greg. At one point, I was over the broadcasting curriculum and taught variety, and I think I've taught every class that we offered at one time. And teaching the students is great. Being hands-on with the students, making we have a production truck, getting to go out what we call in the field, but that's going on location. It's so great to go to a football stadium or to a Kings Mountain or Shelby to do a parade or to go do a concert at the Don Gibson Theater. It adds another element to the creativity. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And as far as going out to the games and then the shows you have here on site, what's been your most memorable or maybe your favorite opportunity?
We've done so many neat things. I remember when Jill Biden came here.
Yeah?
Yeah, and we just had the governor here a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
That was really neat as well, Governor Josh Stein. But about 13 years ago, we had at the time, obviously this was during the Obama administration, Joe Biden, vice president. We had Jill Biden on the campus, and that was huge. Just the security detail that was
Right,
on.
yeah.
But I was on camera that day, and we were live on the air. We carried the press conference live on C19, and then re-aired it. But I was a little nervous because there was Secret Service all over the place in Keeter, and that was a really neat experience that we had her come in and speak and. That doesn't happen very often.
You're
so
right, it doesn't.
That's one that I think of. But we've done so many neat events. The parades are always neat because you get to talk to people. The concerts. I always love doing the concerts. We do a lot over at the Don Gibson Theater and meeting different folks. And that's the big thing. Networking. You know how important that is, and what you
Absolutely.
do. That's always the neat part. The memories and the friends you meet along the way.
And we talked about Talk of the Town being on for 25 years, but there's so many other shows.
Yeah, there really are. I think about probably our most watched show, Political Smackdown. It is, yeah.
It's the favorite.
Yeah.
It's the favorite.
It kicked off in January of 2004, so it's been on for 22 and a half years.
Wow.
And, as we talk about, we have a disclaimer that we put up at the start of the show, but that is only in terms of, we always have 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans, and, it's been a program that a lot of people, not only in Cleveland County, but all over the state watch. And sometimes there's some controversy. They don't, the controversy is not necessarily from what they say, it's from the individuals who maybe don't agree with what they say.
So they send you emails.
We
or
get
phone
we
calls?
get mail. Yeah, we actually get
Oh.
mail a lot of times.
Do you?
Actually, do you get mail much anymore? I mean, we don't get them as much as we
No,
used to. People used to write letters a lot more, but we get a few from a lot of time. But we do get also emails as well, and a lot of it is, I didn't agree with what this person said, or I didn't. But the great thing about the show, free speech. I mean, how blessed are we to be in a country with free speech?
Right.
And
You're right.
it's the thing I like about it, even if somebody sometimes doesn't agree, I know they're watching. And one of the big things is I know we'll go to break in a few minutes, but one of the huge things over the last 5 or 6 years has been our streaming platform, Jamie, to be able to stream all of the content that you see on the channel on Spectrum Cable. Some folks don't have Spectrum.
Right.
So they can go in and stream and watch our content, and we have a lot of folks that do that as well. You really have to have that in this day and time.
Now, when you're talking about streaming, go into detail a little bit more so our viewers know.
Yeah, so you can go to c19.tv, c19.tv, and you can see every one of our programs: Political Smackdown, Meet Me at the Movies, Talk of the Town. When we kick off, we have shows For Your Information, our pet show, Cleveland County Kitchen, shows that we currently have. You can just go online and find that particular episode for maybe the month of July, the month of August, and watch it online from anywhere, off your phone. And it's great. You can watch it off your phone, watch it off your computer. And so that element's been really good as well.
You can leave comments there too.
You can leave, yeah, there are a few, and yeah, everything goes through YouTube, and you can leave a few comments there as well, as you well know. So, yeah, it's, a lot of our shows are hitting 10 years, as we talked about. Some of them are hitting 20, 25 years, and that's really exciting that we've got a chance. There's not a lot of what are called PEG or nonprofit channels left in the U.S., and we're very fortunate to have one in Cleveland County that is not only supported by the county, but is supported, of course, big time by Cleveland Community College.
And that's probably the way I usually watch it, is like I'll go to YouTube or C19 and watch it from there. And that way I can watch any show at any time. But we'll leave it running at home too. We do have Spectrum, and we'll leave it up and running there.
Sure.
But usually I catch it on YouTube. And then if you subscribe there, it'll tell you, when certain shows are on and things.
Absolutely.
And then when you log into it, it'll be like the first shows that show up.
Yeah, and obviously on c19.tv you can see our schedule. You can see when the shows are going to run each day, and then you can see the calendar of what's coming up for that particular week. So we always we want our viewers to be able to always have those opportunities, and an easy way to check that out.
Yeah, and then also I noticed you all are pretty active on social media.
Yeah.
Facebook, always posting the schedule there.
We are, and kudos to Holly Hamrick, who's actually producing. I can see her through the window right now.
Yeah.
She's directing today. She does a tremendous job on our social media and marketing aspects. We want to continue to do that, to profile individual shows, to tell you what's coming up. If we're having a special event, just like we had a couple of weeks ago when the governor was here, and we had a special program on his visit about the summer electrical academy that we had right here on campus. Special events are very neat, and the other thing that we have is we show all the high school graduations every summer.
Yeah.
That's very important. Along with something you're at every year, and that's our Cleveland Community College graduation, which we had our biggest class this past May. Wasn't that amazing?
It's amazing to have all those people here
2
on
hours
campus.
worth. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we had an unbelievable class of 2026.
They do a really good job of getting all those graduates through.
That's a job.
And all those people here on campus and getting everybody out safely. It really turned out really good.
It was awesome.
I went back and watched. I had a friend of mine whose daughter graduated, and so I was able to get a good shot off of the video that you did.
Yeah.
So I just, screenshotted the video. I guess that's not stealing, is it?
Well, no, we'll let you get away with it since you host Talk of the Town. And that is our goal, and Holly Hamrick knows this, and we have some other folks in the truck. We start prepping about 3 to 4 hours before, because ultimately we want to see every graduate's face that walks across that stage. It's such a great night for them, and they've worked so hard to earn it. It's so important, along with our speakers and everybody on stage. It's such a big night for the college.
Yeah, the picture was better than the picture I actually took while I was here.
I'm glad to hear that.
So yeah, that turned out really good. You all do a great job of getting that in. And what a wonderful opportunity for the people that aren't able to come.
Yes.
And be here or sit out. It's hot out there too.
It is, and it's great to be, not everybody can make it. We're fortunate to have a wonderful amphitheater, but you have an opportunity to go back and watch it. And even even now that we're heading into August, we've still got it online if folks want to go back, even though it's been a few months ago, to check it out, because we're getting close to another semester. Hard to believe fall's right around the corner.
It is. It's going to be here, and it's going to be here shortly. But hey, Tim, we need to take a short break, so we're going to take a short break. Don't go too far. When we get back, we've got more of C19.
Join us for our 24th season of Armchair Quarterback on C19 TV. Each week we look at the 4A Burns Bulldogs, the 5A Crest Chargers, the 6A Kings Mountain Mountaineers, and the 3A Shelby Golden Lions. We will also discuss ACC, SEC, and Gardner-Webb football, along with the Carolina Panthers. Armchair Quarterback premieres August 17th on C19 TV and online at c19.tv.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. The sounds of tutoring and tech and health and fitness and arts and music. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We always have had
That's
a
true.
certain courtesy to other people upon their retirement or somebody's passing.
Well, I got something nice to say about our retirement.
Well, we're not.
Good riddance.
Oh, was it
But I
you?
thought-
First, he put giant flagpoles on the White House lawn like it was a Buc-ee's, and then he cemented over the Rose Garden. Then he turned the Oval Office into a place that looks like a New Orleans cat house.
Well, I'm sure President Obama evaluated both candidates and went with the best one, better one.
Yeah, one of
But
them
I
had a D
was-
by her name.
Well, one cannot help but wonder why. Betsy, one possibility would be that the Hurricanes are now afraid to enter the newly named Gulf of America while Trump's in the White House.
Welcome to this week's Talk of the Town. We've been sitting here with Tim Foster, Director of C19, just talking a little bit about, C19, how the Talk of the Town's up on 25 years now?
25 years,
25
yeah.
years, and how we've been in this studio for almost a year now, which
Yeah.
is hard to believe that we've been here for almost a year. But
Yeah, it
during
really is.
during the break, we showed a clip on the armchair coming up.
Yeah, we are going to be kicking off, hard to believe now that we're headed to August 17th, we'll be kicking our
Oh, yeah.
24th
Just a
year.
couple weeks.
24th year of Armchair Quarterback. So, interesting story on that. The very first year, David Allen, who will be hosting again this year, and of course, people remember David. David was on a few months ago
Yes,
talking about
he
his
was.
podcast. Remember, a lot of people remember his many years as Shelby High School principal. But the very first year, David, when he hosted Armchair, it was done on the stage of Keeter Auditorium.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
yeah, the studio was close enough where Greg was able to roll those cameras out, and he, along with Alan Ford and my father, Andy
Yes.
Foster, were the panel for that first year. But 24 years later, the show continues to go on, and it is we know what high school football means in Cleveland County, and it's going to be another unbelievable year. We kick it off August 17th. So we're going to have folks at games all year long. I can tell you that we'll have highlights of Week 1 games, which will be Burns at Crest and Kings Mountain at Shelby. I mean, Jamie, right there. I mean, my God,
Yeah.
how much money is the county going to make in the first week of the year?
Right, right.
That's going to be exciting. And we're coming off a year where we've got 2 defending state champions.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, a lot of people remember that Shelby beat Kinston last year in Durham. And then later on that night, Crescent beat Wilson Hunt to win a state championship. So we've got 2, and then Burns and Kings Mountain are pretty good. All 4 teams have got the potential. Some of these county games are going to be phenomenal. And then when we get down to the playoffs, and one thing I was telling you during the break, most people, their season in a lot of counties ends in November because they play 10 or 11 games. Not in Cleveland County. Most years we have anywhere from 17, 18, 19 shows. We start in mid-August, and a lot of times we'll end up right before the Christmas break.
Oh, that keeps you busy.
It keeps me busy, but it shows the talent and the teams that we have. And, the great thing about that show, David and Guy Suttle and Rob Roop, who's on there, they know coaches, they know players, they know administrators. So it really adds a lot to the show, and we're fortunate to have them. And I'm excited about another year. It's going to be a great year, and we're going to have videographers out covering games in the heat and the rain and in the cold all season. It makes for a fun year. But 24 years of armchair quarterback.
You can talk about being excited, but I hear it in your voice.
Oh yeah, it's always
When you
exciting.
start talking about the armchair or even football in general or sports, I think you're a little partial to it.
I'm a little
Is
partial.
that-
Yeah, I do. I like to go and cover a little bit, but I also love to edit and our
Yeah.
athletes, our student athletes, that are in our high schools, and some of them are even taking classes here.
You're right.
Sometimes we see them on our campus, and yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate to be in a county where almost every year, at least one team's got a chance to be playing in December, and that could be the case again this year. And I'm thankful that we're able to put the show on, because I think we have, and they may not admit it, but I think we have a lot of coaches that watch the show too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And I'm not just in Cleveland County, but maybe opponents
Yeah.
of a Cleveland County team, they may kind of glance, because we throw some facts out there usually every Monday when a new episode pops up.
And we've always done well in Cleveland County. I mean, this isn't
Oh, yeah.
anything new. This is year after year after year. We're pushing out good players.
Absolutely.
And they're going on to NFL. And
Yeah, and this is a year where we've got a lot of players, a lot of kids that are getting big Division I offers. We've had a couple of kids that have already committed to D1 schools.
Wow.
And a lot of times the big coaches you see on Saturdays in college football, sometimes they're making trips in their helicopters and planes to come watch our kids on Friday nights,
Yeah.
because they're trying to recruit them.
Yeah, of course. of
Yeah,
course. They got to
that's-
get that Cleveland County talent.
That's right. So it'll be another fun year, and when we get into playoffs, and again, I give Holly a lot of credit. She helps us a lot with our brackets. Playoff brackets are so important, and we kind of look at. I mean, we don't just talk about Burns, Crest, Kings Mountain, and Shepherd, but we talk about teams that we could be playing in Lincoln County, Catawba County, and then over towards Greensboro, back to Asheville, and back towards the eastern part of the North Carolina. That's why I like about the show. We try to cover all the facets of high school football.
Now, I was a Charger.
Yes, and I was too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
green and gold. And
Yeah.
I guess you're still pulling for them, right?
No, of course,
Or
yeah.
you
Well,
don't-
I pull for all of our schools once we get into the play. Once we get into November, and remember the big change has been that Shelby's 3A now. Remember,
Yeah.
we have 8 classifications in North Carolina. Burns is 4A, Crest is 5A, and Kings Mountain is 6A. So come playoff time, they would never have to meet each other. So we can root for all 4 teams. We hope they can go as far as they can, right?
Right, you're right.
That's
you
the
notice
exciting part.
Notice he worded that really good. I tried to get him to say
Yeah.
he was still just
Yeah.
pulling for
I'm
the
root-
Chargers,
I'm rooting
but
for
he's
everybody.
rooting for everybody.
I'm rooting
Yeah.
for everybody,
Yeah.
and it will be a fun year, because we do have a lot of talent. But you can't beat those county games.
Yeah, you're right.
Though
You're right.
they're always lots of fun. But I'm just, we've talked about this through the episode. 25 years of Talk of the Town, 24 years of SmackDown, 22 years of Armchair Quarterback. Meet Me at the Movies, has been on the air over a decade. We've just got a lot of shows that are getting a lot of history with them. And we've got some, we've had a couple new shows that have started over the last year.
I've seen the In the Loop.
Yeah, and that'll be back this fall. In the Loop's coming back this fall, along with Blue and Bold.
Yeah,
where
Blue
we
and
talk
Bold.
about Yeti, and I want to talk about Yeti athletics, because it's going to be another wonderful year. We've got so many, cross country will be getting rolling. Volleyball will be getting started here in just a few weeks, and I just invite, they've redone the floor and the gym. It's going to be another great year for Yeti athletics. And we're excited to have another season that'll kick off in September of Blue and Bold.
Right, and if you're not following us on social media there, you've probably missed that some of our players have been recruited lately. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
So for the first time, so we're excited about that too. What a great opportunity to get to come here and play, and then go off, to larger spaces and
Yeah.
play too. So
Yeah.
we're doing good things here at CCC for these students.
And I just want to talk about, I know we just got a few minutes left, I just want to talk about our equipment. We talk about the studio, but we have the LED lights, all of our cameras that we're using right now are high definition studio cameras. We have high definition cameras in our production truck when we go out in the field. We have separate high definition cameras when we go out with just one camera to film maybe an event or a show of some kind. So we're very blessed, and again, we've had a lot of the community that have helped with that financially, and so along with our sets here, the furniture that we have, all
Yeah,
this furniture
this is nice.
was it's getting a little older, but it's still fairly new. It's under a year old, so that's exciting to sit in the furniture that we have, and I mean, it's just it's really cool to have the resources that we have to keep C19 rolling, and we're excited about programming. We got some new programs coming. We're not going to tease everybody too much because we're still working on some ideas.
Okay, good.
But I would just say viewers will be most likely be checking out some new stuff as we get into October, November, December.
Yeah, well, we've certainly enjoyed the new programs that have come up
Yeah.
over the last year or so. Just even those have been
Yeah,
wonderful. So
and
excited to see what y'all have next.
Yeah, and it's always cool to throw in some old stuff. I always love to throw in old parades from the 1980s. You'll see somebody that, from back in those days. We throw that in. Sometimes some concerts that we had here in Keeter from the 1980s. You mentioned the fair stuff from
I think Gene Cox was on the last one that I watched.
And that's over 40-something years old.
That's crazy.
But it just shows you how long that we've been able to be with a lot of different individuals, some great creative minds that have produced a lot of great content on C19 through the years.
And just moving locations.
Yeah.
That's challenging.
It was very challenging.
Yeah.
It was challenging, but it was fun. But it was a lot of work.
I bet it was.
It was a lot of work to move. Lots of cables, lots of cameras, lots of equipment. I did get some new equipment, which is very neat, but tremendous amount of work for sure.
Well, we certainly appreciate all you do and all the work you've put into making all of the new shows successful and keeping the older shows running.
Well, and I just appreciate you, Jamie, for the job you do, and I appreciate all of our hosts. We couldn't do it without, and most of them are volunteers. They're kind enough to take the time, and I always appreciate the guests and the new faces that we meet and the new businesses we find out about. That's a big part of this show, and we're just excited about the future as it continues on. We've been on the air 43 years, and we hope to continue to do that way past my time here. As well, and a big shout out to you guys, big shout out to Holly and the work she does behind the scenes. People don't realize all the work that it takes behind the scenes to keep what we do, keep it going.
And not just the shows themselves, but even on the breaks.
Yes.
I enjoy getting to see the things that are going on in the community, the opportunities to volunteer, the events they have, the things that CCC offers. A lot of times you won't see those in some places, so it's a good to be able to see that right here on the show.
Absolutely, and it gets some exposure to businesses and individuals that may not, whether it's nonprofits or whether that's a new business coming into the county, or whether that's events that we cover every year, such as, I think next week's episode, you've got the American Legion World Series folks coming in.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, of course, again, World Series, fair, parades, events that happen during the holidays. So many events in Cleveland County that go on, and we try to cover as many as we can, so that's very important.
Well, thank you for coming on the show today, Tim.
Jamie, it's always good to see you. Thanks for the job you do.
Yeah, it's good to have you on this side,
It's always great to be with you.
You're always in the back doing all the work, so we appreciate you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here. I certainly enjoy getting to host the show each week. And thank you all at home for watching. So we appreciate you watching. We hope you'll tune in to us next week. I've got an exciting show planned for you. If you have an idea of a story that you would like to have here on the show, or maybe you'd like to come sit on the couch with me, please email us at info@c19.tv. And thank you again for watching. I'm your host, Jamie Henderson.